My name is Kelly Watson. At first, my marriage was blissful. Living on the top floor of a high-rise apartment in New York, enjoying the spectacular view, with a handsome and kind husband. I felt like I had everything. But it turned out, my husband Tom was pathologically unfaithful. I discovered this not long after we got married. Hints of other women would appear, and when I asked if he was cheating, he'd deny it. But after a while, these women would vanish, and he'd return to his normal self, only for another woman to appear in a few months. Talking to various friends, I started to think this might be an illness. I considered divorce, but by then, I was pregnant, hoping maybe things would change after the baby was born. But Tom's infidelity didn't stop, and I felt I couldn't leave for the sake of our child. I should give up. It's his illness. I would tell myself, forcing myself to accept it every day. Then one day, 7 years later, Tom brought a woman home, unabashedly introducing her as his lover. My lover. My husband said this unabashedly. Cheating, right? I wasn't as shocked as I might have been. I had convinced myself that his affairs were just flings. Nope, she's my lover. So, it's serious, not just cheating? Yep, serious. That's why we're getting a divorce. What about our child? We have a child. He's yours. He doesn't even like me. You don't care about me anyway, right? How can you say that? If you don't care about my affairs, you don't love me. I don't love you, so we should split. Why? I've endured all this. Even knowing about your affairs, I thought they were just flings because you were ill. So? That's your assumption. I'm not sick, women just can't leave me alone. You neglect me, so this isn't love. I can't stand that, so admit to the divorce. But, our child. I said he's yours. Stop nagging about the child. Look, having a child is easy. I don't need you. Divorce, please? We're getting married once it's done. Fine. Unable to endure any more, I received the divorce papers. Is this really the end? How simple. I thought, looking at the faded view. I continued to live in the high-rise with my child, but then I received a message from Tom's lover, Mirabelle. Get out of his high-rise apartment. I was at a loss for words when Mirabelle said this out of the blue. As I stayed silent, she continued her tirade. That apartment is for Tom and me to live in. So get out quick. A single mother like you doesn't need it. But being told to leave. You're a broke family anyway, you should just find some shabby place to live. That suits you better. Got it? I'll give you a month, then get out. And then she hung up. I wondered if Tom knew about this. We hadn't even settled the alimony or child support, and yet she had the nerve to tell me to leave. She wasn't considering our child at all. Feeling utterly helpless, I stood in my house, barely managing to reassure my anxious child that everything was okay. Maybe I should start packing. I went to the bedroom to start packing, remembering Tom's kind face from the early days of our marriage. I thought our life in the New York high-rise was like a dream, thanks to his kindness. But at some point, his attitude began to change. I had dreamed of family trips and drives on weekends after our child was born. But I couldn't even remember what we had actually done together. Instead, all I could think of was the pain. When I first found out about Tom's cheating, I tore up all his clothes. But that changed nothing. We used to visit our parents' houses, but after our child was born, it was just me and the kid. Tom never went. I had to lie desperately for him. He's busy with work, he's on a business trip. I created the image of a kind, hard-working father for our child. But it was all in vain, he never appreciated it. Instead, he was laughing with that woman. Maybe I should have divorced sooner. Enduring all this was pointless. What was the point of these 7 years? Tears flowed, and I felt helpless. By not acknowledging his love, I had just given Tom a justification for his cheating. He cheated because I didn't love him. That was his reasoning. I had merely given him an excuse to run away. How foolish, maybe I was just finding excuses to not leave for our child. But can I really end everything now? I'm the one who suffered. If I let it end without doing anything, only Tom and that woman will be happy. Is that okay? I stopped packing. This can't be the end. If I'm just gonna cry, I can do that anytime. So, I'll get my revenge. I'll make them realize. With that thought, I grabbed my smartphone. A month later, Tom and Mirabelle came storming in. You're still not packed? You're really slow at this. What have you been doing for a whole month? Mirabelle yelled as soon as she entered. Tom, holding her close as if to show off to me, said with a smile. We got married, you know. We're super in love now. Oh, congratulations. Jealous, huh? A new wife is always better, right? Is that why you came? To tell me that? No, not just that. We're here to check on your moving progress. After all, we're moving in here once you're out. Make sure you clean up before you leave. You might as well renovate it for us too. Hey, when are you leaving? The 1-month deadline's already passed. Yeah, the movers are coming soon. For recycling. What, you called the movers? You should have said so. But why no moving boxes? You need to take your stuff, or it'll be a problem for us. Don't worry, I'll take everything with me. Your stuff's probably just junk anyway. I didn't notice last time, but is this vase expensive? Could it fetch a good price? Maybe. It's worth $160,000. What? $160,000? That much? So, this house is like a treasure trove? To you, maybe. Everything in this house belongs to Tom, right? Of course. Really? I wonder. Only your personal stuff is yours to take. Everything here is his. So don't steal anything. Do you even know the value of these things? Even if they're fakes, they'll fetch a price. Fakes? Everything in this house is real. Pricey vases, famous paintings, they're all worth millions. And they're all collected by me, reflecting my taste since I was young. Everything is real. There are no fakes in this house. All real, huh? That's even better. I'll just sell all this stuff. I don't think you can do that. Why not? Do you know what rights are? Of course I do. Everything here belongs to him, so naturally, Tom has the rights. Who told you that? That everything here is Tom's? Of course, Tom did. He said everything in this house, including this vase and this painting, belongs to him. That's strange, isn't it? What's strange about it? There's nothing strange at all. But Tom has no interest in art, you know? Even if he did, he wouldn't understand their value. How do you think a person like that would have collected all these? You're being fooled. I'm not being fooled. He's a wealthy man, he could collect these even without understanding their value. They might appreciate in the future. Right, Tom? Yeah, that's right. Wow, a wealthy man, huh? I had no idea. You didn't know? How pitiful. Guess divorce was a mistake for you. Really? You divorced him and now you're poor. Did he really have money? Of course. That's why we could live in this high rise. I'm married to a wealthy man now. So, for this past month, he's been letting you live in luxury? Well, we just divorced, so there's no money yet. But things will go back to normal soon. Why no money after the divorce? I haven't even received alimony or child support yet. Well, maybe there's some cash tied up elsewhere. Optimistic, aren't you? What about his job? What does your wealthy husband do? He must be really busy, right? He's taking time off for our new home. Off work for a new home? How interesting. What? He's kind because he wouldn't let me move alone, so he took time off. Moving could be done by professionals, but you choose to do it yourselves. Tough, isn't it? That's... No, Mirabelle. It's important to handle important things ourselves. Whether small or big, we believe in doing it ourselves. Yet when it was my turn, everything was left to professionals. And moving doesn't take a month, why not just work? You don't need to worry about us. He knows what he's doing, and you shouldn't interfere with his work. Well, if you think so. That's right. Just because you were dumped, don't meddle. Once you're out, we'll move in and enjoy a comfortable life. We'll see how that goes. Something feels off here. Right then, the doorbell rang. When I checked the intercom, it was the movers I had requested. But they were wearing suits. They clearly weren't movers. As I let them into the house, the man pulled out a calculator and started pricing each item. Wait, they aren't movers? Movers don't usually show up in suits, do they? What's going on? Why is he putting tags on the vase? He's an antique and art dealer, here to appraise and possibly buy these items. And while he's at it, he's valuing the apartment too. Why are you doing this? Why don't you ask your beloved husband, Tom? I doubt he'll tell the truth though. Tom, what's going on? Sorry, I don't know why she's doing this. You knew she was going to sell these? Call the dealer so you could get a cut from the sale? No way. Then why? All of this is yours. You can't just sell it. Well, actually, I bought all these things. But I can't keep them all in my new place, so I thought, why not sell them? Oh. I see, property division, right? You're selling these because you divorced him and want to split the money. I don't want to give you half, but if it's property division, I guess I have to. Tom's wealthy anyway, so even if you get half, it won't bother him. I have no intention of splitting it. Why not? Because all of this is mine. What do you mean? All these artworks were bought by me before I married Tom. So there's no need for property division. No way. Then leave them. This apartment is his, you should leave them here. That makes no sense. Mirabelle nervously watched as more tags were placed. I couldn't help but find it amusing. What was Tom thinking, saying nothing? There'll be nothing left in the house. Well, they're all mine, so that's how it goes. Mirabelle, we're not losing the high-rise. No need to panic. But don't worry, I'll buy you whatever you want. Ha! If you can afford it, why not? Once the appraiser finished, he announced it to me. The total value was over $1 million, as I expected. Thank you for your hard work. When will you be able to collect everything? He replied that it would be in a day or two and left. In a day or two, these artworks will be gone, and then I'll have to leave this apartment too. A day or two means tomorrow or the day after. So, we can move by then? Yes, that's the plan. It'll feel empty without everything, but it means we can decorate with things we like. Well, I guess that's okay. You seem to be misunderstanding something. If you don't leave soon, you'll be forced out. What do you mean? I just sold this high-rise. What? Why? Isn't this apartment Tom's? Why would you sell it? Tom, why did you sell it? This apartment is ours. You're both mistaken. Do you know when we started living here? Right after we got married, right? The question is, when was it purchased? Right after we got married. Do you remember buying it? No, I think it was already there when we got married. Exactly. I bought this apartment with my money before we got married. What do you mean? So, when he said he wanted to live in a high-rise, I bought it. Now that we're divorced, it's up to me whether I keep living here or sell it. So you sold it? Yes, you told me to leave, and I don't want to stay in a place I lived with him. It's the perfect timing. I'm planning to move to a house. I just signed for a new house and have already moved my things in. You bought a house? Yes, it was cheap, only about $1.6 million. $1.6 million? So, Tom's stuff is just the junk in the next room. Take it with you. It's a hassle to dispose of junk. Mirabelle rushed into the next room, finding several cardboard boxes. She hurriedly opened them, only to find actual junk. The clothes were mostly worn out. What is this? Tom's clothes. Why are they like this? I didn't throw them away because he said not to. A wealthy man wearing these ragged clothes? I wanted to let you keep dreaming until the end, but it seems that's not possible. What do you mean? He's not wealthy at all, just a poor guy. No way. Just a pile of garbage. That's harsh. It's not a pile of garbage. These clothes are still wearable. Why? I thought he worked for a major corporation. He said he was the president. He was a temp worker at a big company. No way. A temp worker. Yep, and he got laid off right when you two got married. Why? How do you know this? Even I, his wife, didn't know. Because I'm the president of that company. I thought I might make him a regular employee if our marriage continued, but he never took his job seriously since he knew I was the boss. So, I just kept him as a temp. I knew he couldn't afford a high-rise apartment on a temp's salary. But since I have a high income as the president, I thought it was fine. He didn't tell anyone at work that his wife was the boss. It was convenient for both of us, especially since he didn't want people to know I was his wife while he was cheating. So what will happen to Tom now? His contract is over. He was supposed to have one more month, but he's been absent without leave, so it's over. I thought he was wealthy. The wealthy one is me. So you were deceiving me? Not really. If Kelly hadn't divorced, I'd still be a wealthy man by marriage. But Mirabelle wanted a divorce, so I agreed. And with that, I'm out of the wealthy bracket. So, because his wife was wealthy, he's penniless? Yep. A super poor person. Yep. If you knew that, why did you sell the art? Because I can't keep them in my new house. You could have left them. That's not how it works. Everything here is mine. There's nothing here that belongs to you too. I'm just disposing of my own stuff. Tom, do something. Well, that's how it is. Nothing we can do. You're saying this to me. This is his high-rise, right? Say it is. It's not his high-rise. It's the high-rise I lived in with him. But I lived here too. I should have some right to stay. Oh, right. If he has the right to live here, we don't have to leave. Residency rights apply to rented properties. This is not a rental. I bought it in full before we got married. And you left a month ago. You haven't lived here for a month. Where's the residency right in that? Then, property division. I told you earlier. This apartment isn't a jointly acquired asset. It was bought by me before we got married. There's nothing to divide with you. You're penniless, and there's nothing I can do about it. Damn it. I thought we bought everything together. You never had that kind of money. You should take a good look at yourself. Tom seemed frustrated, trying to get something out of me. But with Tom's meager salary, there was no way he could afford anything, let alone own the apartment. Having faced this reality, the two of them left dejectedly. After a while, Tom contacted me again. Where are you now? Why do you ask? It's none of your business where I live. Well, yeah, but I'm actually out of money. I know that already. What's your point? It's different. Mirabelle is blaming me for being broke. Oh, I bet she is. Plus, my temp job ended, so I'm out of work. Find another temp job. Yeah, I know. But I'm not used to other jobs, and there's the whole thing with interpersonal relationships. Well, everyone else manages to deal with it. So, I have a favor to ask. What is it? But even if I listen, I can't promise I'll fulfill it. Don't be like that. I'm really struggling here. So, what is it? Could you hire me at your company? No, I can't. Come on, think about it. Why would I hire my ex-husband? That's just absurd. Even your current wife, Mirabelle, wouldn't like it. But she's the one who suggested it. What? Yeah, Mirabelle brought you up. She said since you're the CEO of a large corporation, you must have a job for me. And since I'm your ex-husband, you'd probably pay me well. That's ridiculous. Both you and Mirabelle are out of your minds. So please, help me out. Marrying Mirabelle was a mistake, I realize that now. You're jumping from job talk to marriage regrets. Are you okay? No, seriously, it was a mistake. She complains about me not having money, and I don't get any allowance. Well, you don't work, so you wouldn't get an allowance. You gave me money even when I didn't work. That was because I had an income. Now I can't even cheat. You shouldn't be cheating in the first place. It's my only joy. That's not my problem. So, hire me, please. Why would I hire someone like you who doesn't work? That's just not happening. If I'm going to hire someone, it'll be someone who actually works. I'll work hard this time. Do you really think I can believe you now? A man full of lies is not trustworthy. Then I'll write a pledge. Even if you wrote that, it wouldn't mean anything coming from you. Don't say that. Come on, help me out. If I don't get a job, Mirabelle will be mad at me. That's not my problem. You chose this path. And things are only going to get worse from here. Worse? What do you mean? Mirabelle has a lot of debt. What? Really? Yes, really. How do you know that? Who do you think I am? I'm a CEO. It's easy for me to find these things out. You looked into it. Exactly. And she's borrowed from some not so nice places. No way. Why would she borrow from places like that? She's on the blacklist. She can't borrow from reputable sources because she never pays back. She's pretty well known among payday lenders. Is that so? Why does she need so much money? I don't know why she needs it, but now that I think about it, she was always obsessing over money. She wanted to keep the vases and paintings. Yeah, her obsession with money is intense. So, the amount she's borrowed, even from just the reputable lenders, is huge. The interest is piling up. She borrows from one place to pay another, creating a snowball effect. It's quite impressive, making snowballs without any snow. This is the worst. What should I do? Well, since she borrowed it, it's not my problem. The responsibility to pay it back is hers. So, if I divorce her, I won't be affected. That's unlikely. Why? Why do you think she married you? Because I'm handsome. There are other handsome men out there. She thought you were wealthy. She thought marrying a wealthy man would erase her debts. Turns out you're broke. If she lets you go now, she'll have to pay back everything herself. She won't let you go. That's ridiculous. So that's why she's always talking about money? Maybe. So, I'm basically working for her now? Looks like it. This is too much. Well, you made your bed. You betrayed me and our child. Mirabelle probably thought you'd be quiet about her cheating, just like you were with me. But fairy tales don't happen that often. I've been tricked? It's like the fox and the raccoon tricking each other. Fox and raccoon? Yes, both of you were deceiving each other. What if some scary people come to collect the debts? That might happen. You should be prepared for that. No way. Kelly, please help me. Hire me with a high salary. No way. You're not worth a high salary. You can't do anything. Don't say that, I'll really work hard this time. If not, lend me money for a divorce lawyer. Don't joke. If you want to talk about that, first pay the alimony and child support. Kelly. Later, Tom, cut off from income, was constantly nagged by Mirabelle to work. But used to a life with me, he despised working. The thought of all his hard-earned money going to Mirabelle's debts made him not want to work, even joking that working would mean losing. They fought every day, but without money, they couldn't live. Tom borrowed money and tried to increase it through gambling, falling into a vicious cycle. Realizing this wasn't working, he finally found a part-time job. However, he was the epitome of a man with naive thinking. However, his naive attitude led to quitting every time a high school senior or an older woman employee scolded him, making no money at all. Meanwhile, Mirabelle racked up more debts. Substantial amounts. Before Tom even found out about it, she had disappeared without a trace. It turns out that the reason for the debt was to pay off her own debts, and she had borrowed the money under Tom's name. Tom, overwhelmed by the ballooning debt, apparently complained that he wasn't the one who borrowed the money. However, the lenders, being from the more dangerous side of money lending, just yelled at him, like we care, and that was the end of it. He had to pay no matter what and came to me begging, but I refused. I haven't seen him since then, and no one knows what became of him. As for me, I got tired of high-rise living and bought a house, now enjoying harvesting in the home garden with my daughter. Seeing her happy face, I feel confident that divorcing was the right decision.